Of course, we do our Tuesday night webinar every Tuesday night. This is our chance to come together as an organization, communication, direction. We've got motivation, inspiration. We've got a lot of different topics that we cover on Tuesday nights. And tonight, it's going to be a short webinar. I know that you guys have been crushing it. I've been looking at the numbers and extremely excited about what's happening inside of our organization. Especially this time of year. This time of year can be very distracting. And one of the things that we talk about as a leader is our ability to distract the organization or distract our agents from the distractions, of course, of the summertime, the heat, all the things that are going on. When you get into the Midwest and the East Coast, we're trying to cram everything into the next June. You know, you got June, July, and August, and then reality hits, back to school, back to the weather. And so we're getting a lot done. We're getting a lot more done than we have in the past, for sure. And we're excited about the stories that we're hearing from the field. By the way, it's the stories that really drive this organization, the stories of success, the stories of how much, how fast. And it's not always, that someone came out and they made $1 million in their first year. That's not the story that inspires people. It's the story of, I got involved and I made a decision. I made my list, and in my first week, I made an extra $500, or my first month, I made an extra $1,000. And those stories are what inspire people and move people into action, and they duplicate quick. By the way, it's not your ability to get one superstar started. It's your ability to get a lot of people doing a little bit. That really can have a massive impact on your business. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that this organization is catching on to duplication. I don't know how many times we've been on this call, and we've talked about the 7 skills that are necessary for building a massive organization. And of course, I like to, when I get on the call, at least touch on those skills, or at least name the skills. We had a great event in Phoenix this weekend with Betty Perez and Jermaine Johnson, and I was fortunate to be there, and Tony Hughes was also there, and we touched on a few of those skills. But of course, the skill of finding prospects, that's a skill. It really is a skill, and a lot of people don't count it as a skill or don't understand it is a skill. And so instead of focusing in on being better at the skill of finding prospects, they end up being frustrated because they're not finding prospects, or they're not sure how to go about finding prospects. Of course, on this webinar in trainings that we do on a regular basis as an organization, we talk about how do you hone that skill, how do you develop that skill of being a great prospect finder, someone that finds people. And I'll tell you, for me, finding prospects a lot of times just really comes down to being out and about. I don't necessarily go out to find prospects, but when I go out, I end up finding prospects when I'm at the gym, when I'm hanging out, when I'm in a social environment. Of course, I'm planting seeds. I'm not puking all over people. I'm not attacking people. I'm not stalking people, but I'm asking lots of questions. And we're not going to go into a whole training tonight on finding prospects, but it definitely is a skill that you want to hone and work on. And it's really just as simple as becoming, sociable enough to ask people questions, and being someone who is not in desperation mode. I find that a lot of times greedy people, and I shouldn't say greedy, but people that are in desperation mode, or that have to make something happen right now because of that desperation, or because of a pending deadline or a bill, they tend to be ineffective in their ability to find prospects. In a lot of ways, they repel people. They scare potential agents away because of how they go at people, in this attacking people type thing, and telling people how they should be part of Seacret, part of what we do. Tiffany talks about it all the time, become attractive, and people will become attracted. I guess it sounds pretty fundamental, but when it comes right down to it, finding prospects is really more about you. What are you becoming as a person? I've been asking our team a lot lately, what books are you reading? What seminars have you attended lately? Have you been to a Seacret event? Have you been on these conference calls? What are you becoming to become more attractive, to become the person that other people would like to follow? And that's a big part of finding prospects and really honing that skill. And once you hone that skill of finding prospects, you start to see that prospects and people that are interested in your business, you never really run out of those people. Of course, inviting those prospects is the next skill. And we've got an organization that's getting very, very good at inviting prospects, the whole contacting, inviting, that blueprint that we talk about, part of the blueprint, contacting, inviting, and then getting people started right, which is also one of the skills we're gonna touch on here pretty quickly. But contacting, inviting, it really is a skill. It's an art in a lot of ways of once you found the prospect, how do you take it to the next level? How do you move them into action? How do you put them or get them closer to joining your business? I was fortunate that many years ago I had mentors that taught me that that most people join a business like this after about 7 exposures. So I never got so stressed out when the first exposure that I make or the first contact that I make, that maybe they're not interested, or maybe they're a little leery, or maybe they're testing me to see if I'm worthy. Some people bounce from deal to deal. Some people are wavering in their commitment to everything, and sometimes people aren't going to join unwavering, uncommitted people. So sometimes our prospects, or the people that we know or that we've contacted inviting, they're testing us to see if we're going to stay in the game, because maybe the last time we didn't, or maybe we approached them about something else and they know that we were flaky or we didn't stick around. The other skill, of course, is presenting. The skill of presenting is something that I believe we work on from being ourselves. I think that, like, when I first got involved in this profession, I changed the way I talked. I changed the way I communicated. I stiffened up, and I think I freaked people out a little bit because my presentation wasn't me. It wasn't who I really was. It was what I thought other people wanted to hear. And I can tell you that today, people want realism. They want the truth. They want us. You can just look at what's happening in social media. The big stars today are not the big product pushers today. The big conglomerates are using real people. They're using the YouTube stars of the world. They're using people that are really telling the truth, or it's about their reality. And of course, us being realistic and us speaking from our heart and telling the truth. Presentation today, especially in Seacret, just telling the truth, telling people, here's the truth of the matter. Here are the facts. Here's what it meant to me. Those presentation skills are easy to hone. It's easy to become skilled in the art of presentation when it comes to Seacret, but it does, it takes time. You've got to actually do the presentations. I believe some of the reasons why people aren't skilled in presentations is because they're just not doing the presentations. They're not doing the activity necessary. The other skill, of course, is follow up, and this is a skill. We've heard the old cliche that the fortune is in the follow-up, and it really is. The fortune really is in the follow-up, and so many people will make the presentation. So many people will do the contacting, inviting. So many people will even find the prospects. But when it comes right down to it, if it takes the average person 7 exposures before they actually join a business like this, and that's on average. I know Seacret's a lot different. Our numbers tend to be much better than that. But if that's the case, then of course getting the skill down and following up, making sure that we're checking back in on somebody. I ask people all the time, if they're not interested today, is it okay if I follow up with you? Is it okay if I keep you in the file? Is it okay if I keep you informed? It doesn't have to be anything weird. It can be just simply setting the stage with somebody. So when you do call them back, it's like, hey, remember when I told you, or we talked about me keeping you informed? I just want to keep you up to date and let you know that Seacret was the #1 fastest growing growth company in all of relationship marketing in 2014, or whatever reason it is. Or, hey, I'm just following up with you. I know you weren't interested, but I'm now expanding my business into New York, or I'm expanding my business into Australia, or wherever you pick the place. And you said it'd be okay if I followed up with you. Maybe somebody. I know it's not for you, or it wasn't for you, but maybe somebody in this market. And that follow up, becoming a professional in our profession and getting these skills down and focusing on the follow up. The fortune truly is in the follow up. And of course, this organization is getting better and better at the follow up, getting better at all of these skills. And then the 5th skill that we don't talk a lot about, but the skill of closing. And of course, here we don't call it closing because we call it opening, because we truly are opening a new relationship with somebody. In sales, the term is closing, and for a lot of salespeople, they get the order. Somebody signs the dotted line, or they put their money on the line, and that's kind of the end of the deal. The deal is done. All of the whining and dining and the dance and all the things that went on up to that, it was all for this moment, the close, closing someone. But in relationship marketing, it really is just the beginning. It's the beginning of a relationship, and our close is truly an opening that leads us to the next 2 skills that are necessary to be professionals here. And the next skill is getting started. We had a great segment this weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. Tony Hughes did a phenomenal job on getting people started right. This truly is a skill. If it's done right, the dividends that are paid from it can be massive. The reward for getting people started right, for really digging in with people, finding out truly why are they here, what are their reasons for being part of Seacret, what do they want to get out of this, instead of what do we want out. We know what we want out of it, but truly putting yourself in the shoes of somebody else to find out what it is that makes them tick, what motivates them, what would get them to go out there and pay the price, because there is a price that's paid when it comes to, or is necessary, it has to be paid when it comes to building a business like this. This is not a walk in the park. This is not easy. It's worth it. It's rewarding. There's probably nothing more rewarding you can do, but it does require work. It does require effort. It does require, tenacity and persistence. And it requires us to develop those characteristics that every person that we respect has. We know what it is, and we know what we would like to be. And once we become those things inside of Seacret, of course, the sky is the limit. So getting the skill down of getting started right, and it starts with the blueprint. It starts with really focusing in on someone else's reasons why they're here. Jermaine Johnson said something that I thought was powerful. And when it comes to your why and, what's hurting you, the why stands for what's hurting you. And for a lot of people, it's the what's hurting you that will get you motivated to do what's necessary. If your kid's not living the lifestyle that you think they should live, if a parent needs to be retired, or you need to be retired, or disrespect, or whatever it is, if that's what's hurting you, and you can find a way to transform that into energy that drives your business and moves the activity, it can be a powerful thing. But more important than that is not only getting it down for yourself, but being able to really hone in on that with other people that you're getting started. So getting people started right truly is a skill. It's a necessary skill. It's a skill that will pay, again, huge dividends. And the final skill that we'll continue to work on and we'll continue to teach, and you're seeing it on a regular basis already. So it's a skill that sometimes we're not even thinking about, but it's being shown to us by great leadership on a regular basis, and that's the skill of promotion. Promotion. You can go a long way if you can become a great promoter. If you can be the person that points at other people, that's directing people to information, that's constantly talking about. Of course, we've got the Ignite event coming up, and the biggest winners coming out of Ignite will be the ones that going into Ignite, we're promoting it like crazy. We're constantly talking about it. We're taking inventory within their team to see who's registered, who will truly be at the most important event that we've ever had. But promotion of everything, promotion of the products, promotion of other people, that, of course, we call it edification, and we will touch on that a little bit before we wrap up today. But promotion, it's a skill that if you can only get one down, I would highly encourage you to start working on the skill of promotion as quickly as possible, because it can take you a long way. Promotion can be an amazing equalizer and momentum builder. But tonight, guys, of course, we touched on the 7 skills, and we've got one of the powerhouses that I think is one of the great promoters in our organization. And he's here with me at the house this evening. And I wanted you guys to get a chance to hear from him. He has the great ability of taking information that may seem complicated, or taking a situation that may seem complex, and breaking it down, to its lowest common denominator, and not only making it palatable and easy for us to digest and understand, but making it inspiring, so that we want to go out and charge the mountain. When I get around this individual, I'm fired up. I want to do jumping jacks and go run. I want to make phone calls, and I want to talk to people. I want to build my business, and I feel like, not only does he understand why we should be building this business, and he really gets the purpose behind building an organization like this, and of course the rewards that come from building an organization like this. He communicates very effectively, and I'm excited that he's in the house tonight. Guys, please help me welcome our platinum agent, the other half of the Johnson team, Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine.
All right, team. Well, hey, good evening. Am I up there? All right, good. Well, look, John kind of said it all. So I thought that he was closing after that, because that's it. I mean, that's all that we really need. But for all of you, of course, all the brand new agents. Of course, we want to welcome you to the team and to the family. Always let you know that, look, you don't work for us, we work for you. And so we're just excited. There's exciting times going on all around the entire country, world even. I mean, with Tiffany in Australia, Josh and Cindy in Japan, and everyone everywhere else in between. But still, we're still doing great things and causing things to happen, growing things, exploding things, igniting things. We don't have to wait till to ignite. And so seriously though, we're doing that in the US. And so as John was just saying, all of those types of things there, and those skills that basically though we must possess in this industry. Though it caused me to reflect, because any of us, we went back to a GoPro convention. I think it was last year, 2 years ago or something. And one of our good friends in the business, one of our colleagues, he broke the day down, or say your time, because when we're under these time frames, and so we're trying to condense time, and we're all on a 90-day run, and so I hope you're running. And so if you do decide to sleep, you take a power nap, right? You don't take your shoes off. The way we used to say it, you keep your shoes on. You may untie them, unlace them, but look, we're running right now. And so now the 90 days, now we're already 30 or so plus days in. So we got about 60 days to do what we said that we're going to do. And so as John was saying, coming from the community day this weekend, right, talking about that why, seriously, it all comes down to you though making a decision. And I remember Tiffany back in our back in say our former company, and basically though when she was on a run, and so we read a certain book, and I remember, I promise you, if she was here today, she would probably tell you that it was on that book, or it was on her 90-day run to go to the top. And it was this one book that really helped her to become, or to hit the top position, or to become it as a person. And so what was that book, and who was that book by? Of course, it would be by the one and only John Maxwell. And so it's that book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And of course, we don't tell you to read a book of the week, book of the month, or all those types of things yet. But I would encourage you, going into convention, everybody in the organization, get something, get a book by John Maxwell, because that will allow you, that will put you in the posture of expectancy by the time that you get here to convention. And when you hear John Maxwell, some of those things that you read from that book, or from any book, guys, I went all the way back to one of his first books called Be All You Can Be. And this was actually the one of John Maxwell's first book, see, where he had hair still, see, or he had brown hair. But look, seriously though, guys, right, I'm looking up here at John and Tiffany's at their library, and I promise you, John Maxwell books are all over the place. So that's my first point, is to do something or read some form of John Maxwell going into the Ignite convention. Now, of course, during a run, as Tiffany has taught us, look, you don't want to spend say all of your time reading and personal development. Look, now is not the time to spend all of your day, right, just ODing on PD. See, now is the time that we got to go to work, and success is in setting your appointments. I'll say it again. Success is in setting the appointments, getting your calendar out, filling it up. If you have a blank spot on your calendar, understand, because we used to always have, and we still have people that tell us that, well, I'm going for this position. I'm gonna go bronze. I'm gonna go silver. I'm gonna go platinum. I'm going ruby. But no, look, open up your calendar, and your calendar will tell us what position that you're going for. And so right now, we don't have time to waste. And so something that I was reflecting back on is that basically taking your average day and time, because we know that the majority of people in this business, you're doing this on a part-time basis. And so what do you do? How do you work even within the slivers of time that you have? And talking to the parents here and people that are on the 9 to 5, well, basically, right, to just try to master your time that you do have, break it down in a percentage. And so here's something that we got at the GoPro, and I kind of reflect on it time and time again, that 60% of your time right now should be spent on piquing and promoting, piquing people's interest and promoting. Peaking and promoting, as John just taught you, the skills to master. Well, now this is the time that you can spend at it. Is that all right? Good. So 60% of your time right now, and especially during a run, is spent peaking and promoting. The other 18%, so you take another 18% of your time or your day on following up. It doesn't take long to follow up. Seriously, you spent time peaking, promoting, exposing, fine, but you spend another 18% of the time on following up. Then for your personal development, good. You take 15% on personal development, then 7% on handling paperwork. And I know I used to make the mistake. I spent all of my day getting the office organized or preparing the paperwork and all those types of things. And in our old company, we used to have to do all the paperwork, all these types of things. But look, really, that's not the work. That's not it. Don't spend your time on clutter. I call that clutter. And once you have clear vision, that helps you get clutter out of the way. That's not a money-making activity. Now, I'm not saying putting the application in or putting the order in isn't a money-making. Yes, you're going to make money from it, but that's not where you want to spend your day. That's not where you want to spend the majority of your time. Look, you got to look. This is a home-based business, as we always say, but it isn't a homebound business. You got to take some time peaking and promoting. So 60% peaking and promoting, 18% following up, 15% personal development, 7% handling paperwork. Here's the one I love, but 0% dealing with negativity. I'm going to say that again. 0% dealing with negativity. From now to Ignite, we don't look, zero negativity in your business, in your life. I don't have time to hang around drama. I can't be around drama. I got to be around dreamers. So right about now, from now to convention, it's okay to give some people what we call the gift of goodbye. It's a gift. It's not that I'm not going to see you again, but right now I got to hang around dreamers. I got to get around people that are closing, or whatever you want to call it, opening. I got to get around people who are running, that are going after their dreams. Some people that said, you know what? I will no longer be a wandering generality. I'm going to be a meaningful specific. That's the type of person I'm going to be. I'm not going to live in the circumstance. I'm living in my vision. And so I got to hang out. I got to associate with those type of people. And so I'm going to encourage you guys, look, really pay close attention to your association, especially when you're on a 90-day run, because you get around people, they're like, I mean, they just leech. They, excuse me for saying it that way. I used to call them spiritual leeches. They just drain you. They just, you know, as soon as you hear their voice, they just, oh Lord, they drain you. Look, we don't got time. You don't have time to do that right now. So get around people that are dreamers, not drama. All right. And so I'm going to encourage you in that. And so with that said, I really, look, John kind of said it all, but what I will say is, guys, look, don't forget about the missions here. You see the missions, right? We got the mission sponsor, the mission rank advance. And you know what? I spent some time last night with the guy Dallas, the young man Dallas, the first one to get his 20, or the first one to accomplish mission rank advance. I sat there with him because, you know, I'm wondering, look, how did this little young boy from Hawaii, and no disrespect, no de-edification, but he's a young man. How did this guy do 20, really? And guys, I sat there talking to this young man, and it's his work ethic and his attitude. He made a decision that I'm going to get it done. And also, he's competitive. He is competitive. He doesn't want, he is not satisfied at being number 2. And we as a team in the Mulatto organization, we should all adopt that same philosophy. We want to be number one. We want this team to be number one. You want to, your organization, all your agents, you want them to hit their goals. And so I'm going to look, I talked to him. He got his 20 because of his attitude and then his work ethic. So the last thing I'll say is your work ethic. Guys, look, here's your work ethic. You should have a work ethic with a point to prove. Pay attention to this. Work ethic with a point to prove. And they should be like, and your work should be congruent to your activity. But you want work ethic with a point to prove. So what's the point? What's the point you want to prove? And like I taught on Saturday, who do you want to prove wrong? See, because we got our why and people have their why, but then you have a need, and that's fine. You got your need, but then on top of that, because sometimes you got your why. And so we say, yeah, we got our why. Oh, that's good. Yes, I got a why. What's hurting you? But sometimes you just really got to go deeper, because some things, I'll talk to Jermaine, some things really, sometimes, I mean, I can get lazy, I can be haphazard, and it's just sometimes I just won't get off of my butt and do it. And so, but yet I have a why. But see, your why sometimes is real lofty. It's real nebulous. That's a good word. See, and so maybe, look, it needs to go deeper than your why. So whoever's out there, let's go deeper than your why. What's your need? Your need. What is that thing that you need to change? Let's keep it real. Some of us need right now a double rank advancement bonus. Can we keep it real? We need that. This is the time that the company has put this on the stage. I don't care. Look. Okay, fine. Yes, I want the watch. I want the Apple Watch, right? I'm a Samsung, but still, I want the Apple Watch. But really, I want the double rank advancement bonus, right? I know some of you say, well, it's not about the money, but you need money to do some things. Is that right? Exactly. So what's your need? And look, maybe it isn't about money. I said it again, but still, but money can help you in a lot of areas. So go deeper than your why, go to your need. Now, for some of us, we have a why, we have a need, but that isn't even strong enough. That's not strong enough to say, you know what? I'm going to make a decision. I'm getting off of this call. I'm going to work. I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm not going to start tomorrow the way I normally have done. John Maxwell said, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And so I'm going to encourage you to get off of this call or start tomorrow and do something different. But if your why won't make you do it, if your need won't make you do it, then you got to go deeper. What's deeper than that? That's your fight. What's your fight? Your fight is what are those people? Who are those people that you need to prove wrong? Who are those people that they really don't want this to work? They don't want you to be successful, right? Because your success will highlight their mediocrity. So they really don't, I know they smile in your face, but you know them folks that are like, how long are they going to stick with this one? Or, they not going to be the one. They were the black sheep of the family anyway, right? They dropped out of school. They not going to be the first millionaire in the family. Who are those people that you need to prove wrong? Jim Rohn said it's okay to call it revenge. Who are some people that you need to just have some revenge against? Now, I know my Christian folks say you shouldn't say it in that way. God bless you. Look, I got revenge on my dream board. Is that all right? Look, whoever it is, I'm going to encourage you to do that. Whatever it's going to take to cause you to make that decision, get laser focused, and whatever your goal is, whatever bonus you want, whatever rank you want, then let's get off of this call and do it. If I can say though, one more thing, John, to this team, because a lot of times we forget some of the times in the past, or some of those defining moments, or some of those feelings that we've had in the past. We try to put them behind us. But let me take this team to a breakout a year ago that we had, and we love all of our family. I know some of you are on the line, but some of when the Korea team came over and just dominated the stage. I mean, they took over. Is it okay to say that, John? Look, let me take it back, because I remember in the breakout, Tiffany said about it. We said about it, and I'm going to encourage you. Look, Go back to that feeling last year here in Arizona, and Korea came over and they took over the stage. Now, I know it's an international convention, but look, they danced on our stage, partied on our stage, dominated our stage. We went into our breakout, told our stories, but we were really, some of us were agitated. I'll say it just like that. We were, look, some of us were a little pissed off. Is that all right to say? Look, I want us to go back to that feeling and say, no, not on my watch. I am not going to allow that to happen again. Now, yes, they're going to get theirs, but guess what? We need to represent here for our city, for our state, for our country, and especially for the Mulatto organization. And so with that said, guys, I don't want to talk you to death. I don't love anybody to death. I love everybody to life. Look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks, because these next 2 months, these 60 days are going to go so quick. So we look forward to seeing you here in Phoenix, Arizona. With that said, I'll turn it back over to my brother.
Appreciate that, Jermaine and team. There's a lot of things that were covered here in just a short period of time. Of course, we're talking about the Ignite conference. We've got all these promotions, Operation to Ignite, 92 Ignite. So double bonuses, triple bonuses. There's a lot of course, money that's on the line. And you know, with Jermaine talking about the 90-day run that we're on, heading into the Ignite conference. By the way, make sure if you don't know, and you should know unless you're brand new in the organization, that that's September 17th through the 20th. That's going to be our North American convention. That's going to be at the Phoenix Convention Center in Phoenix, Arizona. But this run that we're on, these runs that we do, these all-out massive action runs, it's about what we call building up to breakthrough. Building up to breakthrough. Every great leader, every great organization understands that there's a point where you're building up, and that's the activity. You know, there's only two things that we can control. I tell people all the time, we can't necessarily control the results. And I know people get stressed out about their results, and you know, they freak out, they shut down sometimes because of the results that they're getting, or the lack of results in some cases. I never have pressure on myself because I don't put pressure on myself for results, but I put pressure on myself to do the activity necessary. One thing we know for sure inside of Seacret, that if you do the activity, the results automatically come. The two things that we can control for sure is the attitude and the activity that we do, and the attitude in which we do that activity. But when you're in this 90-day run, or now we're a lot less than that as we head into our September Ignite conference, we've got a chance to really build up, and it doesn't take a lot of build. As a matter of fact, Mark Twain one time said, I've only had a few breakthroughs in my life, but those few breakthroughs kept me in pipe tobacco for my entire life. In other words, you know, you only need a couple of good breakthroughs to live the lifestyle, to have the rewards, and in this business, to have the residual income that provides the freedom. You know, the reason why we came in the first place was to have this lifestyle. Life is what you live. Style is how you live it. This freedom that so many people lack today, this fulfillment, this purpose that is so elusive for so many people. So right now we're in the build-up stage, and that build-up stage comes from doing the activity. And you might not necessarily see the result today. I tell people, and I love that Jermaine touched on the calendar, and John Maxwell talks so much about the calendar. Of course, we keep talking about John Maxwell because he's going to be at the Ignite conference, and you know, this world-class teacher of leadership, this world-class entrepreneur. But your calendar will tell you where you're going to be. I can tell people, I can tell you what your production numbers look like. I can show you what your check will look like 90 days from now based on what your calendar looks like today. What is your activity today? If your calendar's not full, well, your bank account probably won't be full 90 days from now. And again, I know it's not all about the money, but the money is a gauge. The money is the byproduct of doing the activity. Whether we like it or not, it will always be that way. That will never change. And we're going to continue to teach people the proper activity. We've touched on the skills that are necessary. I'm telling you right now, I would be sending text messages. You know, the text messages for our brand new people that are still just getting the hang of it. We got these great little videos that you can send someone a text message over, have them check out that video, and lead them through a very simple process-oriented approach to building a business. We want to get duplication. Of course, I'm telling people you can do what works, but what we want to do is what duplicates. Great salespeople can get people to join the business, can get money flowing inside of an organization. And that's great, but that can lead to frustration as well. We want to teach people what truly duplicates. That duplication is what gets you freedom. Duplication allows you to be home with your family. Duplication allows you to travel with your family. Duplication allows you true freedom, the ability, once your business is growing in spite of you, no longer because of you, that's duplication. I had a mentor that said, but within 2 years, 80% of your business should be outside of your backyard. If right now everything inside of your business is right next to you, it's in your backyard, or everybody looks exactly the same way that you look, we just got to, take inventory and look at what we're doing from a duplication standpoint. But again, we got to continue to focus on the activity, not the results. We got to fill our calendar, have campaigns. Guys, I would encourage you to create campaigns within your organization. I know in Australia, Tiffany, they were crushing the 30 faces in 30 days. There was so much activity that was not happening. It was a simple activity. It was a simple campaign, a simple call to action, a charge to action. Put mud on 30 faces over the next 30 days. And they tracked that. And of course, there were some rewards for making that happen. What can you do inside of your group? Maybe it's a handful of you that say, look, over the next, between now and September 17th, before we go into Ignite, we're going to create a campaign. And maybe maybe you create a campaign for the next week that, let's slap mud on X amount of people over the next week, and let's track that and hold people accountable. Maybe we all go bowling or something. Maybe we have a little dinner plan for our group of 10 people that participate and do the proper activity. I promise you, go out and do the activity, and you will be shocked by the results that are inevitable. Again, using third party, continue to point at the products, the people, and the process. Don't point at yourself. If you're pointing back at yourself, you're killing your duplication. It can't be about you. You can't be the sharpest person in the room. You can't be the most charismatic person in the room. You have to be the one pointing at everybody else. Edification, edifying each other, continue to edify each other. That's simply talking highly about everybody else, taking it off of yourself, putting it on them. That's how you get yourself free. I will tell you that hard work doesn't necessarily guarantee a big check, but working smart does. And we've heard that cliche, work smarter, not harder, but putting systems in place that allow for duplication. Some of the things that Jermaine just got done talking about, it leads to true duplication in an organization. And so it's not the highest paid people on the planet are not the hardest working people on the planet necessarily. They're the people that figured out how to get leverage working in their life. They figured out that the key is the people, the key is the products, and the key is the process. Those three things, keeping it simple, leading by example, not telling your team to do something. We've got all these promotions right now, and the minimum right now is to go out and sponsor, 5 people. If you're brand new today, you just joined today, you can sponsor 5 people before our conference in September. I mean, 5 people inside of the greatest opportunity on the planet, the opportunity that everybody's talking about, the company that wasn't supposed to, the unlikely hero inside of relationship marketing, Seacret, this company that was the underdog, that by its second year, made the DSA 100 list, going into its third year. What were we? The fastest growing company? 104% growth, the number one in terms of percentage of growth of all companies in relationship marketing, to put another $100 million, almost $100 million on the books in 1 year, on top of the revenue that was already being created. You're part of the best opportunity on the planet. It doesn't take a whole lot. There's a ton of people out there right now. They're looking for something. They need change. And then we provide not only the vehicle, but we provide the information that's necessary, the step-by-step approach to keeping it simple. But of course, it comes down to us leading by example. Go out there and get your 5. And I'm glad that Jermaine touched on our guy Dallas, this young guy who's really leading by example, and he's teaching a lot of us old dogs, our old veterans, on what it means to really have a work ethic. And he was embarrassed about his 5. I'll have my 5 by tomorrow. And I'm excited about that. And he didn't even want us to post that he had 5. He said, don't put it out there. He's got his 20 now. He's going for 100 brand new agents before the Ignite conference. And that's not for everybody, but look, anybody can go out there, get their 5. Again, a lot of us doing a little bit leads to a massive organization of staying focused. Make sure that we're registered, for the Ignite conference. Hard to go out and tell people to get to the Ignite conference, the most important conference that we've ever had, the most content-rich, money-producing conference that has ever been produced inside of Seacret, which is coming up in September in Phoenix, Arizona. It's hard for us to tell other people that they should attend, and we're not registered. People today are getting better and better at sensing, somebody, sensing what's real, what isn't real. And because I think we've been so tired of being bamboozled by infomercials at night, by false prophets, by wolves in sheep's clothing, that we've got to be very in tune to that. Don't tell your organization to do something that you're not willing to do. I'll never ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do. I'll always lead by example. I'm asking you to go out there and get your 5 new agents, because I'm getting my 5 new agents. I'm asking you to get registered for Ignite, not because there's income that we earn from you getting registered from Ignite, but there's income you will earn if you get to that event and to attend that event, and you get that compressed time frame of the best coming together on one stage in one short period of time to tell you exactly what they did to get the 6 figures and the 7 figures and have the lifestyle that so many of us want. I will tell you guys, and I've been going around the country and around the world, and I'll tell everybody, never blame and never make excuses. Never blame and never make excuses. We are exactly where we set an appointment to be 5 years ago. If you're happy with that, then congratulations. Exciting. Based on my research of the world, which comes from social media, basically, it seems that so many people are not happy with where they're at. And it's real easy to blame others and make excuses about why we're not there, the government and our parents and, whatever it might be. But I was fortunate. I was liberated by a mentor who shook me up and slapped me around. And he says, you made an appointment 5 years ago to be where you are. He said, that's the bad news for you. But the good news is you can make a new appointment today. You can make a new appointment today. And in 5 years, your life can be completely different. Now, I know that's tough to hear sometimes in an instant gratification society. A lot of people that join Seacret, they're looking for a get-rich-quick thing. And I know they are, and I know we would never say that because it's not politically correct. But the fact of the matter is we see that if someone doesn't get rich quick, they're off looking for the next not get-rich-quick scheme. And, we want it fast. We want it now. And it's not our fault. It's not your fault. It's our society that has created an environment that is teaching people that it's got to come fast and it's got to come now. And unfortunately, that's not the reality. And what's worth doing takes the time. We're telling people to become a professional, learn the skills. That takes time. What if it took you a year? If you're brand new, what if it took you a year to learn those 7 skills that are necessary? Would it be worth it? Of course it would be worth it. What you become here can be worth a lot more than the income that you can earn here. And of course, you can earn significant income, and we're proving that every single day. And finally, guys, I'm going to tell you that as we're out there and we're building our business, I'll tell you what duplicates the best. It's called the truth. Tell people the truth. Look people in the eye, and with conviction and with clarity, tell them the truth. Tell them your story first and foremost. Tell them your sponsor story. Tell them your team story, and tell them the story that is being created because of the energy and the resources that you're willing to expel in creating this massive organization. But go out there and look people in the eye and tell them the truth. There is no question, guys. We've got the best people from the Ben Shabbat family. It is not up for debate. The CEO. The family, the philosophies, the leadership behind this company is second to none. The products are superior. I don't need to give lip service to that. I tell people, look, I don't have to talk about it. Let me show it to you. We have a product that we want people to experience. We have products we want people to experience, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many products that are coming that are going to blow people away. And then tell the truth about the process. We're putting a process in place that really can create wealth. It can create duplication. It can create freedom. It can create lifestyle. It can create massive change for those that are willing to participate. So, guys, appreciate you taking the time tonight. Of course, we're going to be back here again next week, Tuesday. Every Tuesday, our commitment is to come and bring the communication, bring the direction, bring the guidance that's necessary for us to build a massive organization inside of Seacret. We appreciate you being here. We'll look forward to seeing everybody next week on this call. Take care. Good night. God bless.